through mindset, branding, marketing, sales, systems, and team so they can make an amazing impact and income and positively affect their communities worldwide. Ensure that you are sharing this show, you're subscribing, and you also are leaving us a review so we can create more amazing content around those areas to help you level up to the next level and also bring amazing guest experts that can share their knowledge and expertise with you so that you can create amazing legacy. All right, legacy builders, welcome back to another show. I'm so excited to be back with you with another amazing guest and conversation. And today we're going to speak about financial freedom. We all seek this as entrepreneurs and business leaders. The reason why we're using the channel of entrepreneurship is because we like to be financially free. And people that are financially free, obviously, they can be more purposeful with their time. They can put their time towards things that are meaningful to them based on the life that they like to create. So today we're going to speak about budgeting specifically as a discipline and actually how budgeting can help us gain financial freedom. But most importantly, I'd like to introduce my guest today. And he's a very special guest because he's also part of our community as the expert for financial, in the financial services space, I should say, Kenny Ingersoll. Kenny, thanks so much for coming on. Looking forward to getting to know you a little bit better and diving into this topic today.
Oh, well, thanks for having me on. I enjoy being here, so thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure. So, Kenny, let's give the audience a little bit of a background, your story. Why are you doing what you're doing? And why, most importantly, this topic is so near and dear to your heart. So, can you share with us a few of the most meaningful moments that led you to the work you're doing today in the financial services space?
So yeah, I grew up with entrepreneurial parents, so I always had that bug in me. So I knew there was something in that realm for me, but just it took me quite a few years to figure it out. I tried different things, failed forward, tried. It wasn't until I came across the financial industry through a family member of mine that it clicked for me. And when I started learning all the things that I didn't know, I'm like, holy cow, I can use this so much, and so can everybody else around me. There's so much out there that we don't know, and so just and it opened my mind. It's like of all the things that's available and out there when you open your mind and think differently about money, particularly in this case. So that's a little bit about me and how I got into the industry.
Yeah, no, I love that. I mean, I could attest to that experience where you just don't know what you don't know, and then you get exposed to a certain field or a certain information or a certain solution to a problem, and you're like, "Whoa! I wish more people know about this." So that's how we get to create impact. Then we want to share it with more people. It always stems from that desire to contribute towards other people, and I definitely think that money and financial education in in its entirety is definitely a department that a lot of us need to learn because we have a lot of gaps from our traditional education on how to even be financially free, right? We get trained as employees, we get trained as individuals that are gonna work under an entity, but we don't really get taught on how to invest our money, how to create a financial plan for our life. And yeah, I think this is very an important area for sure. So let's start with the topic today, budgeting. So how specifically budgeting can help us with attaining our financial goals?
So budgeting, it's a mindset thing. All of finances, a lot of things are mindset, but budgeting is putting off the instant gratification a little bit for the bigger long term gain. So you're sacrificing, quote unquote, a little bit now or for a couple years to be able to have that freedom, whatever that freedom looks like for you, for many, many, many years, and if you set it up right, even generations to come. So it's not just impacting you alone or your immediate household family. It can impact generations if you think that far out and you set it up that way. And if you're willing to um as Ed Milet says, be the one in your family that makes the change in that family tree and make those sacrifices short term, then it'll long term gain far outweighs the short term sacrifice. And often with the mindset, people think a budget is restricting. Oh, I can't do this because of my budget, or this isn't in my budget, or this isn't in my budget. But the freedom of a budget is you can put in whatever you want in a budget. There's give and play. If your focus is A over here, then maybe a little bit of C and D have to be sacrificed temporarily. But you can put in your budget anything you want. So that budget is up to you. And a lot of people just automatically umbrella budget over everything, that it's restrictive of everything. You know,
Yeah.
um,
Hmm.
for me, example, I love cruises, so that's in my budget. I love to travel, so I put that in my budget. Maybe maybe my backyard isn't 100% where I want it to be, but that'll come later. But I'd rather travel more now and have those experiences, especially while my son is young, and making those memories with him in his childhood is more important than having a pretty backyard.
Yeah, perfect example, because yeah, it reminds me of discipline, and there's always a cost to something that we're doing on the short term, but if it's important enough to us in the long term, then I think we're more willing to stay focused around it, because we know it's very important, and what is the bigger why behind we want to do something, and it keeps us grounded, it keeps us purposeful. And I love that you shared the two examples, that for someone maybe having a pretty home, or investing in their home remodel, so to speak, might be an important priority at this life phase and stage, depending on that clarity that they have, right? And something else might be something that could be a plan B or plan C for people. So understanding, it goes back to values, it sounds like to me. Like once you have clarity on the values that you want to operate under, even in the area of financial freedom, then you get to make those choices based on priority and your life stage, and where you're focusing your attention on, and what you're trying to build. So I think it's all connected together. But yeah, absolutely, it's words that I think have a negative connotation, just like I feel sales has a negative connotation in business. Maybe budgeting in this area might have that, but you just reshifting the way we look at it definitely helps. So what are some of those things that we could start a budget, Kenny, based on the client work that you do on your day-to-day basis? So let's say that, what are some of the most common things that you tell your clients to start budgeting around, or focusing? Let's switch the word to maybe focusing more around, based on some of the goals that you have seen your clients want to achieve in their financial aspect.
So, yeah, one of the important places we start is, what are their goals? What are their focuses? There's not a one size fits all. And my goals and focuses are not my clients, and they're not yours. Yours are different than mine, different than my clients. So it's whatever their goals are and whatever their hot buttons are. And start where they are at. If they need to budget for new tires, or if they can only take a week at a time, focusing on that budget, and we have to readdress every Monday morning, then we do that. Just meet them where they are and work with what works for them. And then ultimately we get to the month budget and the year budget and the bigger goals out there. But just meeting where they are. If you take a person in third grade and dump them in Harvard, it's not going to be a good fit. So you got to kind of gradually work them at their pace in that regard. But again, focusing on their goals and their hot buttons.
Yeah, I love the personalization, because we all come from different life journeys. We all want different things, and we're all in different phases and stages. And our knowledge and education is not the same. So yeah, absolutely, meeting people where they are, and then offering them that kind of help with kind of where are they now, and what is it that they're trying to achieve, is very important. So then, on your day-to-day work, Kenny, what are some of the things that you do with clients? Do you offer them coaching around this area, or do you have specific products you can help them? How does that actually look specifically?
So yeah, I do coaching. I also do, mindset. A lot of it is mindset and understanding. Um, I help them understand the tools that they have access to and how to use them. And then there are specific products out there, that may be fit for them. Again, depending on what their needs are where different products come into play. So I down with them, one on one, in person, virtual, in person, um, and just, okay, based on your scenario, where you want to go, where you're at currently, these are the tools and products that I would recommend we look at and implement into your plan. And it might be different from their next door neighbor, it might be different from their brother, it might be different from their cousin. So it's a very custom one-on-one thing, but there's so many out there that people have access to, and but a lot of it is the mindset, knowing how to implement it, knowing how the tools work, knowing, like you said, exploring, knowing what you don't know, or understanding that you don't know what you don't know. And then once you're open to those concepts and looking into them, it could open a whole new world of possibilities and opportunities.
Love that. And what are some of the biggest mindset shifts that you have made in this area, or that you see that your clients make on the day to day that you can share with us?
Well, yeah, one of them is budgeting is not really as restrictive as we believe it is when we first hear the word. And then, excuse me, and being open to other things. I was very right here, very focused on this area, because that's all I knew, because that's what my grandpa was taught, because that's what his grandpa was taught, and that's all that was available at the time, or whatever. But there are so many different avenues and channels out there now, and being open to exploring those, and learning from people who understand those.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely looking at new information, at new models. If somebody out there has achieved the financial freedom that you're looking for, I'm sure that they have actually followed a certain journey that you also have access to. So I love that you kind of share that knowledge and expertise with people. But I think most importantly is the personalized attention. It sounds like that everybody gets. Where are you heading? What is your legacy, Kenny? What wakes you up in the morning? What is the passion behind your work? What is your big why? Why do you do what you do personally? Why do you do this work that you do personally? I'd love to kind of hear that aspect of you personally.
So for me, it boils down to what I call my root why. Excuse me. And I love creating memorable experiences for myself, for my family, for my clients, and whatever those memorable experiences look like. It could be paying off that credit card as a memorable experience. It could be finally having it in their budget to take their family to Disneyland or Tahiti. It could be going fishing on a Tuesday afternoon, you know, when everybody's at work and there's nobody else at the lake because everybody's at work. Just having that different experience and spending the time with the family on their terms, and not having to ask anyone, or feel weird about it because it's Tuesday afternoon, I should be at work or whatever. Just opening their mind and creating those memorable experiences. That's what it boils down to for me.
I love it. Experiences. So helping people make those memorable experiences for them, whatever that means to them. It's very, very powerful and beautiful. And for a final message, I usually ask my guests, Kenny, to maybe share one success tip that has helped you in your journey as an entrepreneur, and also one learning or lesson that you have learned so far.
So yeah, the tip is start now. Wherever you're at with what you have, start now. And then the lesson is ask for help, seek mentorship, whether that's from a live person, from a book, from a credible YouTube video. Seek help.
Well, great advice. Definitely tried and true in the school of life or in the school of entrepreneurship, as this journey is definitely one that is challenging at times, but definitely worth taking if your why is really big and your impact is really big. Kenny, thank you so much for everything you shared with us. It's been a very helpful episode to people that are maybe even, considering to maybe focusing more in this area, or kind of putting more of a priority in this specific situation, because their venue or their channel is obviously their business, but there's so much more that they can do with the income they get to generate, or things that they can maybe start aligning to achieve financial freedom and to eventually move out of their business as well. So that could be one of the goals that this audience might have as well. Where is it that people can actually continue the conversation with you, so that they get to know about all the amazing resources that you're putting out there regarding this field?
So yeah, my website Ingersoll Enterprises is one of the direct ways. I'm all over social media, so if you prefer Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, I'm on there. But IngersollEnterprises.com is the quickest way to get to all my contact info.
All right, beautiful. Well, there's a website right on the bottom of the screen. Definitely go follow Kenny. And if you want to know where he also is, he's also inside our Life School community for easy access, and is always contributing with great information and knowledge around this very important area. Thank you so much, Kenny. Thank you for everything you shared. I'll let you go for now, and I will see you next time with another guest and conversation. And definitely subscribe to our show, as you know where to find us on all our major social media podcast platforms and social media channels. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. I am offering a free 30-minute discovery strategy business growth call for you in order to help you discover the foundational gaps that you might have between your book publishing, branding, marketing, sales, systems, and team, so that you can make more impact and income in your business this year. Even if you decide not to receive the further support that I could provide for you, you will still walk away with amazing wisdom and value from my 20-year experience in helping entrepreneurs and growing my own successful business, in what are some of the gaps that you are experiencing, and how to connect those gaps with your ultimate business and life vision. Schedule a call now, as my calendar gets booked very fast, so that you could take advantage of this 30-minute opportunity to have a personalized chat together.